I made a post in my Facebook group, which you can join, the link is below, and I got over 100 comments. So I asked ChatGPT for some help on narrowing those down, and the 5 niches chosen were homeschooling, gardening, handmade business coaching, dog treat business, and African American empowerment. So these are the side hustles I'm going to walk through a plan for. And then towards the end, I have a plan for everyone considering these niches are pretty specific, right? So the assignment was I said, give me the amount of money that you need to add to your current income to make your life a little less stressful. I asked everyone to include the amount, the hours they were willing to work, and their skills, niche, or passion so I could work through this process for them in a video. I was so excited that we got 100 plus comments. However, many did not follow instructions, so they were disqualified because there wasn't enough info for me to walk through the path with them. For example, someone said an extra 1500 per month would be life-changing. My passion is skiing, but I find it hard to see how I could do anything with that. Well, there's lots of ways, but I need to know how many hours you're going to work in order to do this video. Now, you can go and watch all of my other side hustle videos. You can follow the Pips path. All the resources are below. But for this video, it's very specific. Someone else said I need to double my income. Is your income 300 or 3,000 a month? And then someone else said their goal would be to replace their husband's income so he could retire, but it's about 6,000 a month. That's great information, but what's your niche? What's your passion? What are your skills? So the ones that were chosen, um, they followed the instructions and gave me enough info. I always want to give you guys actionable stuff. I don't just want to be talking like in theory, like all these videos I watch, they're like, oh, you can make $1,000 a day, and then they're not even doing it. They're just teaching you how to do it. So I always like to have the path I've created, the path I've taken, the path my clients have taken, and then I tell you how to do it. Okay. One thing worth noting here is this is a 12 to 24 month path depending on a few factors. If you only need to make 500 a month, you can accomplish that in 3 to 6 months. If you're doing active income, you can do that the first month. But if you want more than that, it's going to either require more hours or a longer period of time. So if you only have an hour or two a day, that's cool, but you can't expect $1,000 a month in passive income in 3 to 6 months. Um, it's very important to me that I'm realistic with these numbers. I could make clickbait videos all day long showing you how much money I make and promising that you can go make that amount of money, but I don't feel like that's really the most honest way to do it. I feel like it needs to be your niche and your passion. You can't just, copy what I did and teach people how to blog and side hustle. Like, sure, you can make money doing that, but is it going to light you up and make you happy every day? Now, things I noticed, and ChatGPT helped me with this, but the average goal was $2,500 per month extra. Okay? Extra. That's a lot. And the average daily time commitment people were willing to put in was up to 5 hours a day. Doing that math, working 5 days a week, that means you have to make $125 an hour. That's not chump change. I know we're all disillusioned to, oh, make multiple six figures online, yada, yada. But making $100 an hour, it requires patience to build up, but you also have to master a skill. This is why the PIPS path always tells you to become a subject matter expert. You can't make $100 an hour for your skills very easily if you're not at least becoming an expert, right? I also noticed that many of you have amazing ideas that will make you six figures, but you have not, and unfortunately may not ever, take action on them because you're stuck in idea mode. There are some of you who have been in my Facebook group since it started, or even for, a year or more. It's about 3 years old now. So even a year or more, and it's the same stuff every time I see you comment. It's like, oh, I'm going to do this. Da, 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 da. You map it all out. And then 3 months later, I'm like, how's that going? You're like, oh, I didn't do it. You have to do the thing to make the money. That's why it's important to follow your passion. You're not going to give up on your passion as easily. Now, to be completely fair and unbiased, I took all the first 100 comments, and I haven't looked to see if there's any more because I wanted to get this video done. I put 100 comments into ChatGPT and asked it to choose the 10 most qualified comments based on who answered the questions, who gave the details that were required, and who had realistic expectations. Meaning, if you said you want to make 5,000 a month and you're only willing to work 4 hours a week, I'm not going to figure that out for you, because if somebody can figure that out, like, we would all do it, right? Then I took those 10 choices and narrowed it down to the 5 that I feel are the most they have the most income potential based on hours, realistic amounts, and my experience with their niche. So grab a pen and paper or pull out another screen, because as I work through these scenarios, I want you to write out your own. I give homework in almost every video. Actionable steps are very important to me. I know this is not what people teach you if you want to, get a bunch of views on YouTube, but my goal here is not to get millions of YouTube subscribers. My goal here is to help those of you who hang out through the whole trainings. These are a bunch of training videos that I've been doing, especially if you've been watching my side hustle series. And I want to do it this way so it's super actionable for you, not just a bunch of like in theory BS. We have enough of that. Just as a refresher, if you have not done my side hustle videos, this is the PIPS path. And you start out with a side hustle right here. You're going to become a subject matter expert ASAP. And you're going to double and triple dip by sharing your knowledge. So while you're creating this side hustle, you're creating content for your blog and your YouTube channel. I 100% recommend to do both. So create your videos and then use a tool like WriteBlogger. I'll leave a link below for a free account, to turn your YouTube videos into blog posts. And then both on your blog and on your YouTube channel, you're going to give away freebies. You're going to sell ebooks and mini courses. You're going to grow your email list. And then last but not least, all roads are going to lead to your low ticket membership for recurring monthly revenue. So let's dive in. The first niche is the homeschooling niche. I specifically chose this one because it was the lowest dollar amount that I saw. Other than this, I think the lowest I saw was 1,000 a month. I might have missed some, but that's what I saw. So I wanted to start with the lowest. This person says that they are in the homeschooling niche and they want to make a couple $100s a month and are willing to do 3 hours daily. So, to start with your side hustle, to start with the fast money, you're going to do homeschool tutoring, teaching online. You can even teach on like OutSchool. You can get your is it TEFL certificate and teach English online. My daughter has done that. She even went to Sri Lanka to teach English. So you have all kinds of options there. You can also offer homeschool coaching, which is different than homeschool tutoring, and any other service you can think of. So if this is your niche, if you're in homeschooling niche, press pause and just brainstorm 10 different services you can offer. That's where the hustle is services. Then we flip it to long-term passive. You're going to create resources for other homeschoolers. You're going to make sure that you are specializing. What makes you different? There's a gabillion homeschoolers. What makes you different? Are you teaching out in the forest? You teaching forest schooling? Are you teaching gifted children, special needs children? Are you religious, especially something other than Christian? Like, if you think of homeschooling, most people already think of Christianity, even though it's more mainstream now. If you are a religion other than Christian, especially, you can stand out. Or something else, anything else. How do you stand out amongst the huge sea of homeschool families? Also, worth noting, homeschoolers in general, and I can say this because I was a homeschooler and I've met thousands of them, they are notoriously cheap AF. So you need to be very clear on finding a way to deliver value, aka save them time and money, in a very low ticket way. For example, I don't know if the site still exists, but used to education.com had like 50 million worksheets. I paid $50 per year for access to those. It was pretty much my only expense when homeschooling. I was so cheap. I did not subscribe to anything else. The next niche is kitchen gardening. This person says, I would love to make an extra 2000 per month. I'm willing to work at least 5 hours a day. So kitchen gardening is actually a really good niche for the Pips path. So if you don't need to side hustle and you just want to start the Pips path like passively, then you can do that. Absolutely. So if you need to make money fast, we're going to start with a side hustle. So I want you to look at this and then press pause if this is your niche and go through and brainstorm as many things as you can. So we're going to sell herbs or composting mixes or whatever at the farmer's market, for example. Now, again, this is very general because this is not like I have one-on-one coaching where I go in and I get all the details and can really, really help. This is just like to start the brainstorming and get you going, okay? But think about it like this. What can you make and sell and where can you sell it? So farmers market, vendor fairs, etc. If you have more time and you can just work on, you know, making everything passive, then you're going to create a blog, a YouTube channel, freebies, mini courses, a membership. Now, with your membership, sometimes hobby memberships can be a little difficult because the messaging usually isn't as strong or compelling as B2B. So, for example, are you going to find more people who are, oh my gosh, I need a garden, I need a garden, I need a garden? Or more people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I need to make more money, I need to make more money. Obviously, most people are freaking out, as you can see, 100 plus comments, right, about needing to make more money. So, if you go the hustle path and you start setting up at farmers markets, etc., you use that content and then you build your blog, your YouTube channel for you can even do it for the hobbyists. And then your membership can be showing people how to make money from their kitchen gardens if that's the path you go. Otherwise, if you want to do a physical membership, this is not the exact Pips path. It's only because we're also talking side hustles. But a physical membership, you can send out seeds, you can buy them in bulk, there's all kinds of things you can do there. Find a really good organic place where you're getting really high quality seeds and buy a bunch of them, break them up into little containers and ship them out. You can sell you can sell anything, you guys. Um, if I was doing this, I was really good at composting when I was in my little gardening phase, so I would make compost and sell it. But again, you have to figure out like what works in your life specifically. The next niche was handmade business coaching. This one actually made me really excited because I've had a few people I've coached about this. So this person says they have 8 hours daily or more, which is amazing. That's full time. That you're not going to take nearly as long to make this money, right? So this person said 2000 per month total leaves us more than comfortable. As already work at home person, I'm willing to put in 8 hours daily or more, even more during hustle time to get that income to a steady point. My niche is handmade business coaching, but thinking about niching into multi-generational living on a homestead as a secondary separate operation. Okay, so number one, until your handmade business coaching business is making decent money, my rule is at least 1,000 a month, but make your own rule, then you cannot start on another business or you're just dividing your attention and you're going to dilute your time and you're going to really make the path so much longer than it needs to be. I understand if you're like me and you have ADHD and you need other things to focus on. You can't just be day in, day out, all this handmade business coaching, right? However, I don't think starting a second business at the same time is a good idea. I would pick up a hobby that I did 1 hour a day before I would start a second business at the same time. Just because, again, until that money is coming in, you're really taking away from that earning potential by starting more and more and more ideas and businesses. Okay. So pick one and then run with it. So if you are already teaching people how to run their handmade businesses, go all in. Just do it. Focus like your life depends on it. Get it to where it's making at least $1,000 a month. And then if you're still super passionate about your homestead, then you can start creating content around this. This niche is perfect for the Pips path. I love it. Okay, dog treat business. Oh my gosh, you guys, how much have we been talking about dogs lately? I just put out a video that was 10 side hustles for pet lovers. One of them was to create dog treats. So this person's goal is $3,500 a month. They are willing to work 2 hours a day. Okay? I need about 3,500 a month. My niche is dogs. Current focus is homemade dog treats and other DIY for dogs. I'm already at 1,500 a month, but I only have 10 to 15 hours a week. So I'm not sure if I understood correctly if like you're already at 1,500 a week. Are you already working on it and you can add in 10 hours to get to 3,500? I'm not really sure. So some of this math may be wrong, y'all. But the way I'm reading it, it means you need to make over $100 an hour because you want to account for, taxes to set aside. Now, this can be accomplished, but it can also be very difficult. So make sure you're being realistic about the amount of money you're going to make. With that being said, you already have a viable business here. You're making 1,500 a month. Whatever is working, double down on it. Do more of it. Okay? Expanding it with content marketing is my number one suggestion. Create a blog, create a YouTube channel. If you need to create income faster, you can also add in pet sitting, dog walking. Go watch the Side Hustle for Pet Lovers video if you want more ideas. But this is absolutely, it's already a viable business. You can definitely do this. I just wasn't sure on the math because I didn't quite understand how it was worded. But hopefully that is still a little bit helpful. If not, the other video will be, I promise. This last niche, African American pride and empowerment. She wants to make $4,000 per month and work 2 hours per day. It says I have 4 Etsy shops, 2 of which do very well. One is African American pride and empowering products. I use print on demand and I also mass produce my top selling products and I ship the orders. Currently, I work 10 to 12 hours per week. I would like to figure out how to scale and infinity dip. My goal is to bring in 4,000 a month, which would allow me to go from working full-time for someone else to part-time. So I think, I'm not sure, but I'm going to assume here that the first step is to get to where you only work part-time and then you're going to have more than 2 hours a day. Like that's my hope, okay? So I'm going to give you this breakdown here. This is the infinity dip path, right? Because you mentioned it, I want to cover it here. So, subject matter expert journey. This is your side hustle. This is where we're starting. You're selling on Etsy. You can sell on your own site. You can sell at vendor fairs, farmer markets, in Facebook groups. You can do it on TikTok. There's all the options, right? So, once if your Etsy shop's already doing well, I would recommend adding in maybe one more shop option, whether it's TikTok or you're going into Facebook groups or you make your own Facebook group or you're setting up at a farmer's market or vendor fair or paying someone else to. Like if you're short on time, you don't have 8 hours on Saturday to go set up, pay somebody to do that for you, but they're selling your products. Okay, so you're going to go all in here. But then to double and triple dip, we're going to create content around what you're doing. So maybe you're going live on TikTok or recording short videos and you're talking about what you are creating at the same time that you're side hustling, you're selling your products. Package this order with me. Those videos are so popular on TikTok right now, right? So at the same time, you're just going to use all that. You're going to create all that content because you're already doing the thing. And then you're going to create content with it and put it out there. The infinity dip, you guys, this is very top level. Go watch the infinity dipping videos if you really want to know what this is all about. But the infinity dip that you're going to build up to is think about what type of membership you could provide, either physical or digital. So, physical, if you're still in side hustle and you need to make that money and quit your job, Physically, you could make a bunch of transfers or whatever they're called nowadays. I used to do the t-shirt press stuff, but the sublimation is super popular right now. So whatever it is that you're doing, right? Take your designs and you can make designs that you sell. You don't have to sell your own. Those could be exclusively yours. But make designs to sell. Sell those digitally, but you can also sell them physically. I used to order transfers all the time because I didn't want to mess with printing everything because whenever you print stuff, there's always errors and it's just a mess, right? Some of us don't like doing that part. So you can print them out and somebody else can buy them. So somebody else who wants to start a shop. And this is where like a Facebook group would come in handy where you can teach other women how to do what you're doing and then they can buy your transfers or they can buy your files. Those are both two can be two streams of income. And then you can add on coaching, like one-on-one consulting and coaching. Let me help you set your business up. There, I don't know your skills, so I can't go deeper into that. Like, oh, let me set up your website for you. Let me do this, let me do that. But just think about the skills that you have and what you can offer as a service to others who want to do what you are doing. Hopefully that makes sense. So with the infinity dip, you just keep adding and adding and adding income streams. The goal here is to add passive income streams. So that's where the files and the digital stuff come in. But if you're still working towards quitting your job, that's why I mentioned the physical stuff as well. The only reason that I ever am mentioning physical and service-based stuff is if you can't afford to just do passive and be patient. Right now, look at the date, look at the time. Where do you want to be at exactly at this time next year? Pause. Answer it. It's not rhetorical. How do you want your life to be different? Again, pause. Write it down. How do you want your life to be different? If you are a person who looked at this video and you were like, "Man, I want to make 2,000 a month. I want to make an extra 4,000 a month. I need extra money." How do you want your life to be different? Write it out. And then get really honest with yourself, y'all. Really honest. Look in the mirror. Are you willing to put in the work that it takes to make an extra one, two, three, four, five, $10,000 a month? It's a lot of work. I know social media personalities and influencers make it sound easy. It's not easy. It's simple if you have a path. That's why we have the PIPS path. The resources below, it's free. I tell you everything you need to do, but it's not easy. You can make it easier by following your passion, but at the end of the day, it's still hard work with the goal of making it easier and easier work as you go. It's kind of like whenever you're investing in stocks, you're putting the money in, putting the money in, putting the money in. You feel like it's not doing anything. And then all of a sudden you see it growing and growing and growing. And then in a couple of years, it's like, whoa, that compounding effect really kicked in. Passive income is the same way. It's not completely passive, it's passive ish, but like at the beginning, you might work 40 hours a week. That's just an example. Say you have 40 hours a week, you're going in full time at this. Somebody said 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. You're not making any money. You're not making any money. You're not making any money. But in a year, you might be at 20 hours a week and making $2,000 a month. So your time goes down. Your time investment at along the timeline here. Your time investment goes down and your money goes up. So we call it passive income, but it's really more like leveraged income. So I'm going to give you some steps, you guys. Step 1 to get started. Set a time and money goal that's realistic but also doable. I don't want you guys getting burnt out. Not ever, but especially not as soon as you start. If you're like, "Sadie, I have no freaking clue. Tell me what to do." Okay, 2 to 3 hours a day and $1,000 a month is my recommendation to start with. So 10 to 15 hours a week minimum, and then map out your 9 to 12 months to get to $1,000 a month in mostly passive income. Now, if you need to make more than that, you're like, Sadie, $1,000 a month, that won't even cover my, whatever. Then you need to look at a few things. Number one, your budget, financial and time wise. Okay. Where can you save money? And number two, where can you find more time? This is where a time audit really comes in handy. Now, hustle mode pops in here. You might have to go walk some dogs, drive for Uber or Lyft or Shipt or Instacart, run errands for people, set up a crafts fairs and sell your wares. When you're in hustle mode, don't feel like you're above anything. Work your butt off so you can get into passive income mode sooner rather than later. Step number two, take inventory of your marketable skills. Do not roll your eyes and say you don't have any marketable skills. If you're thinking that, how can you expect to make $100 an hour? Like, no. Get out of that feel sorry for yourself mindset. I don't know how to do anything. If you truly don't have any marketable skills, go watch some YouTube videos and learn. Everyone that has access to YouTube has zero excuse to have no marketable skills. To follow the PIP's path, you should be following your passion. So, what I want you to do here is make a list of side hustles that you can start with. Watch my side hustle playlist and then create an infinity dip path for yourself. If you want help creating an infinity dip path for yourself, book me for one-on-one coaching. I'm only doing it in a very limited amount of time and a very limited amount of people. If you've been following me for any amount of time, I do not do this very often. So if you email me, I'm going to leave my email below. If you email me and I say I'm not doing it anymore, sorry. I only am going to do this for a few people. So watch my side hustle playlist and create an infinity dip path for yourself. Last but not least, put your freaking blinders on. Focus on that one side hustle as much as you can. I've got ADHD. I get it. I understand needing a few different things to focus on, but you need to build up one stream of income first and then add another. If you're rich in ideas and poor in action taking, you're not going to get anywhere. Ideas are a dime a dozen. I could give you 100 right now. The real key is taking consistent action towards your daily towards your goals. Set yourself up for success. Use your resources, you guys. Use my YouTube videos. Those alone will get you going. But if you need something else, like a step-by-step path for your success, join us in Blog to Membership Formula. That's what it's there for. It is super affordable, and we have a coupon on the front page if you're having financial troubles. So you guys know the steps to get started. You know the infinity dipping path, and you know how much money you want to make and how much time you're willing to invest. But are you going to do the thing? Did you watch this whole video? If so, comment below and say, I am going to do the thing. Because you know what? Most people don't watch the whole video. They watch 3 minutes. They're like, oh, no, I'm not doing that. I didn't do it. It's too much work. Did you watch the whole video? I am doing the thing. I am going to do the thing. Comment that below and I will know that you saw all of this, you're taking it seriously, and you're ready to move forward.